Oof, the NBA has been absolutely horrendous. It's been brutal, but we're looking to bounce back today on Taco Tuesday. CJ Curry here, back with another PrizePicks video. We're going to have a couple of different options. Maybe you pair these up with your favorite taco if they don't get bumped or moved throughout the day. So we'll get into those in just a moment, but if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed now. We're on our way to 23,000 subscribers. I appreciate everybody who's joining me on this player prop journey. In this video, we're talking NBA player props, and specifically PrizePicks NBA player props. So if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, that code Curry, still getting you that 100% instant deposit match the first time you deposit any money on PrizePicks. There's a link waiting for you down in the description of today's video. Get started playing on PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made easy. All right, so what do we have cooking up today? Well, we got a couple of different options here. I mean, there's just so many different ways to go on the PrizePicks board, but not all of them seem great. I mean, there's value. There's definitely value out there, but you know, I could poke holes in a lot of the plays here. If we drag in the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer and kind of take a look at what we've got here, I mean, you can make cases against a lot of these picks. You got Jalen Brunson, who's up here at the top of the optimizer right now, 54.6% chance that he goes over 37.5 PRA. But you got OG Anunoby coming back for the New York Knicks, right? And so that kind of throws a monkey wrench into any potential plans. I mean, maybe Brunson still goes over, but the game total's really low. You got Anunoby coming in. How many minutes is he going to play? No one knows. Then you got Anthony Edwards over 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists, but he's taking on the Clippers. Clippers are a tough team. There's no Karl Anthony Towns, which should benefit Anthony Edwards, but still a lower total game against a tough opponent. I mean, who knows how Anthony Edwards is going to hold up. He's been playing with a ankle issue. And then you got a guy like De'Aaron Fox at 27.5 points. He's been so wishy-washy. Some games he plays really well. Other games he doesn't. He is in a pretty good matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. They don't do a very good job at defending opposing point guards, but still, Fox really inconsistent lately, and he's not projecting very well on top of everything else. Then you got a guy like Kelly Oubre here up on the board. Plus EV play to take the under at 22.5 PR. But he's been really hot. I think he's hit this line in, 5 or 6 straight games. And, you know, he's done really well in the past against the New York Knicks. And so, I mean, like I said, I could poke holes in a lot of these picks. So hopefully the ones that I did land on end up coming through for us. Starting with the first pick, it's going to be Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz at 23.5 points and rebounds. Taking a look at where he's been here on the hit rates. We're looking at the last 30 games here. These are games played with Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, John Collins, and Keontae George. All of those guys should be active tonight for the Utah Jazz. Lauri Markkanen will not be active, but still, you kind of just take a look at the last 30 games here, and the hit rates are not very great for the overs for Jordan Clarkson, which is why I'm thinking about taking the under. Over the last 30 games, he's averaging just 20.5 points and rebounds. That means he's gone under in 20 out of 30 games. That's a 67% hit rate for the under here. He's coming off a decent game where he barely clears 23.5 points and rebounds with 26, but today he's taking on Boston. I expect the Boston Celtics to be 100% healthy. A couple of guys rested last game, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. I think they end up playing tonight. I don't think their injuries are that serious. And they could use this win here on the road against a decent Utah Jazz team. And so I'm expecting full force here, the Boston Celtics defense to be 100% healthy, and hopefully they slow Jordan Clarkson down. But as you can see here, he has really gone under quite a bit, as is evident by all these red bars across the screen. Now, as far as defense goes, Boston, they rank fifth in points allowed, meaning there's only 4 teams allowing fewer points than the Boston Celtics, so that's going our way. And then as far as rebounds, they're kind of a middle of the pack, middle of the road team. They do have some good rebounding players across the board with, you know, Porzingis and Tatum and Brown, and even Derek White gets on the glass pretty well for a guard, as does Drew Holiday. So I just don't think there's going to be a lot of rebound opportunities, especially when you think about Walker Kessler, John Collins, getting in the way of Jordan Clarkson's rebounding upside. He's going to get some buckets. He's just a volume shooter, volume scorer, but hopefully the rebounds is kind of where he is stifled a little bit. But things are looking pretty good here. Is it a plus EV play? Well, you betcha it is. Positive expected value is what we're looking for here. And so we got Jordan Clarkson at 23.5 points and rebounds. He's popping up at a 53.6% chance to hit. You're seeing his lines on most of these sports books at 22.5, meaning the 23.5 is probably just a point too high. Don't be surprised if this gets bumped down to 23, if it gets bumped down to 22.5. The lines makers who set this at 22.5 on these sports books thinks that he's going to land at 22 to 23 points and rebounds tonight. Both figures obviously less than 23.5. All right. So then let's get you some projections here on Jordan Clarkson and see how those are looking. We're going to go over to RotoWire, one of my favorite tools. If you want access to RotoWire for 2 days, for free, I've got you covered. Down in the description of today's video, you'll find a link. Use that link. No credit card required. You can take this lovely RotoWire dashboard for a spin. But as far as projections go, 22.4 projected points and rebounds for Clarkson going up against Boston today. So that is going to be less than 23.5. And then, as I typically do, I like to check multiple projection models. So we're going to swing over here to Action Labs, which is part of Fantasy Labs. And you can see that their projection tools have him at an even lower number than RotoWire. They've got him at 19.9 points and rebounds. So let's just call it 20 points and rebounds on a line of 23.5. I love the differential between the projection and the line today. So Clarkson under 23.5 points and rebounds. That is going to be the first option. Now, the second option, Aaron Nesmith of the Indiana Pacers. Benedict Mathurin is out for the season for the Indiana Pacers. And at 12.5 points, which I think is where his regular line is today, that actually looked good. So if you wanted to get the full payout, so to speak, on PrizePicks and take him over 12.5 points, you can, but I just want to see the ball go through the net at this point. And so I'm thinking about taking the Goblin for Aaron Nesmith without Benedict Mathurin today in a high total game, in which should stay close and competitive, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But like I said, if you want to take the 12.5 points, you can. 53.4% chance that he goes over 12.5. Again, you're seeing all the sports books pretty much, except for DraftKings. They all have him at 13.5, which means their lines makers think 13 to 14 points is what you should be expecting out of Aaron Nesmith today. But if you want to take the easier route, well, without Benedict Mathurin at 9.5 points, Aaron Nesmith has gone over in 4 out of 5 games. That's without Mathurin, with Turner, Halliburton, Siakam, Nembhard all in the lineup. And so he's got a 4 out of 5 hit rate at covering 9.5 points, which is what they call a goblin on PrizePicks. So if you're looking for an easier play, an easier solution, you can go the 9.5 points here for Aaron Nesmith. As far as projections go, let's take a look at those real quick. He is projecting very well today at 13.87 projected points according to RotoWire. So he should clear the 12.5, but even if you're getting him, if you want to go the easier route and you're getting him at 9.5 points, I mean, he should definitely clear the 9.5 points. But again, nothing's a lock, nothing's a guarantee. So make sure you're betting responsibly. I usually put about 1% of my entire bankroll on each bet, or each entry in this case. So there's your first projection. Let's just check a second projection model. Each projection system, like I've said in the past, is a little bit different, but in this case, still projecting for more than 12.5 points at 13. And he's projecting for more than 9.5 points by far, with 13 strong projected points here on the action projection tool. So there's a little two-piece for you. Jordan Clarkson, 23.5 points and rebounds, and Aaron Nesmith at 9.5 points. Or if you want to live a little bit more dangerously and get that full payout, take the over at 12.5 points. But what do you think, guys? I know the NBA has been tough. We're trying to do our best to avoid situations that are kind of cloudy and uncertain. So hopefully these picks end up finding you well here. Leave a comment down in the comment section below if you've got any other picks that you're liking. I'd love to see what you guys are playing each and every day, and so does the rest of the community. Appreciate all your support. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.